As subtitles run across the TV about a dirty joke involving a glazed donut, my wife and her friend instantly turn to me and go, "What are you playing?" I just laughed and said, "This is Dispatch." I was mesmerized, and as much as they tried to look away, they couldn't. Put the kids to bed before playing, because this game is dirty perfection. And in this video, I'm here to show you why. You will step into the shoes of a washed-up superhero known as Mecha Man, but you will get to know the man behind the suit, Robert Robertson. Robert is the main protagonist and reminds me a bit of Tony Stark, in that he has no powers himself, but instead he utilizes a mechanized suit to accomplish his great superhero deeds. However, Robert is not a genius like Tony. Instead, Robert's father was a genius who created an energy core known as the Astral Pulse to power the suit, which Robert then inherits after his father is brutally murdered by the main villain known as Shroud. The other similarity Robert has with Tony Stark is they both have a good heart despite their flaws, becoming selfless heroes in their own rights. However, Robert makes the grave mistake of going after Shroud, and the Mecha Man suit gets completely destroyed. In a depressed state, Robert is at rock bottom until he's sought out by a superhero named Blonde Blazer, who gives him a path to redemption by offering him a job as a dispatcher of reformed villains at the Superhero Dispatch Network. If you're looking for incredible gameplay, then you won't find it here. While a bit simple, the gameplay is serviceable, consisting of just two things: dispatching the reformed villains and hacking minigames you do through your computer. There's technically a third aspect with quick time events if you select the interactive storytelling option, but these are pretty few and far between. I would have actually liked to see more of these, because I find them quite engaging. That's definitely due to PlayStation franchises like God of War and Uncharted being some of my favorite games of all time. I know that quick time events are pretty divisive, and I'm likely in the minority, but the good news is this game allows you the option to decide whether you want them or not. The dispatching does get more engaging over time, and the hacking minigames do become more intricate, but these gameplay mechanics are nothing to write home about. Lucky for us, the gameplay is not the focus here. The interactive storytelling with game-changing dialogue decisions, the beautiful animation style, the incredibly diverse cast of characters, and of course, the copious amounts of dirty jokes more than make up for the lack of gameplay. This is where this game truly shines. This game's entirely driven by the story, in which Ad Hoc Studios does an incredible job in their first outing as a game developer. However, I'm not surprised at all, as they have industry veterans from Telltale Games on their team who are masters of interactive storytelling. The story itself spans over 8 episodes with amazing cliffhangers that keep you wanting more. If you played from the time of release of the first 2 episodes like I did, then you likely share the great anticipation I felt waiting for the next episodes to drop. This whole experience reminded me of an interactive TV show, more so than a video game, and the beautiful animation style they have created reminds me of the show A Legend of Vox Machina. Again, not surprising, since Critical Role partnered with Ad Hoc Studios for this game. During the story, there seems to be 2 main variations when you select dialogue choice: minor and major choices. For minor choices, what you pick will just change the response in that cutscene, whereas with major choices, it can impact various things such as characters or relationships with Robert and story arcs throughout the whole game. If it is a major choice, you'll see an indicator in the top left corner of the screen that either says, "Everyone will remember that," or "A certain character will remember that." The game allows for multiple save slots, so you can have a do-over selecting other options to see how it plays out differently. At the end of each of these episodes, you get to see what percentage of other people picked the same options as you did. This is awesome, because while this is a single-player game, you get to share the experience with others who've played it, giving you the sense of a community feeling. Overall, these choice and consequence sequences make you feel like your decision matters and provides more replayability, which is great since the 8 episodes kept me in the single digits of playtime, clocking in a little less than 10 hours. I've already started playing through the game again to see what changes. Now to the best part. I put these 3 categories together because they really go hand in hand. The cast of actors and actresses is as diverse as the characters' personalities are in the game, with well-known actors like Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad as Robert Robertson, Jeffrey Wright as Chase or Trackstar, to the popular game and animated show voice actress Laura Bailey as Invisigal. And there were even popular YouTubers cast as some of the other characters. This main cast of reformed villains turned superheroes are known as the Z-Team. While they all did a phenomenal job, I wanted to focus in on Robert, Invisigal, and Chase, since they were my favorite three. They were the most intriguing because they were the most broken and complex characters in the game, with Robert being in anguish after losing his father and his entire identity after the Mecha Man suit was destroyed. Invisigal with her troubled past, trying to right her wrongs, but believing it was her fate to always be a villain with her invisibility power. And Chase, who has super speed, but's plagued with no longer being able to use his powers, knowing it would drastically increase his age, eventually killing him if he would use it again. Oh, and how could I forget? Everybody has to love my main man Beef. I mean, just look at him. But anyways, Aaron Paul's performance of Robert Robertson has to be one of, if not the best in the game. Robert has a huge heart, but has no problem getting in the trenches with his team or telling them the blunt truth when they need to hear it most. Invisigal has her quick comebacks, endless dirty sex jokes that kept me laughing throughout, but her wall of defenses she constantly had up slowly came crashing down as she got to know Robert more. Then you have Chase, who is definitely the Samuel L. Jackson of this game, dropping F-bombs constantly, but also has this weirdly messed up but deep friendship with Robert. These three characters' story arcs were deeply intertwined throughout the game, and what I personally found the most enjoyment in. These interactions between characters are heartwarming 1 minute, hilarious the next, and then extremely sad, taking you through a constant roller coaster of emotions. There are very few games that truly accomplish this feat, and there's only one I can think of this year that hit me in the feels like this did, and that is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This game deserves to be mentioned in the Game of the Year category this year, because it's one of the most impactful and unique games I've played in 2025. That is why I highly recommend it to you. If you're interested in seeing a couple other games I think that should be in the running for Game of the Year this year, then check this out. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep on gaming.